you travel by air? Then you should know regulations for the safety of air transportation is the responsibility of the authorities in civil aviation. Today, Jamaica joins the rest of the world in celebrating International Civil Aviation Day, recognizing the importance of civil aviation to social and economic development. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Jamaica Magazine. On the pages today, we also explore how you can make our roads safer by driving to the books. We'll also be in the kitchen baking our Christmas cake, so stay with us for those and much more.
There's a long-distance relay that's still on. Many have taken it this far, each leg as important as the next, each challenge faced with determination. Now it's your turn to take the baton. People living with HIV and AIDS and those who are vulnerable need your commitment. It stands in the way of a better quality of life for all of us and our self-respect as a region. It stands in the way of victory in the fight to stop the spread of HIV. Reject stigma and discrimination. Get us to zero.
With the first flight reported in the island taking off on December 21, 1911, Jamaica has long had a vibrant civil aviation authority. Today, the Civil Aviation Authority in the Ministry of Transport and Works provides world-class aviation services to meet the standards of a growing industry. Take a look.
Jamaica's location in relation to the Caribbean and North and South America makes its airspace quite attractive to airlines of different nations. The fact that the country enjoys an excellent air travel safety record and has the latest technologies and equipment to meet the needs of the modern-day aviation industry has resulted in a steady increase in use of its airspace over the years. But do you know who monitors your security and safety while you sit comfortably in an aircraft over Jamaica's airspace? There is a statutory organization within the Ministry of Transport and Works called the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, which has the responsibility to manage all aircraft using the approximately 126,000 square miles of airspace over Jamaica and the high seas. This includes aircraft that do not have Jamaica as a destination but may be passing through. The CAA was established in May 1996 and assumed responsibility formerly held by the Civil Aviation Department to upgrade and improve the safety, efficiency, quality and security of air transport services in Jamaica. It regulates all aviation activities and matters related to safety of air operations in the country. As a member of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, Jamaica is required to comply with the Chicago Convention on International Civil Aviation, which relates to air safety and airport operation standards. To ensure efficient operations, the authority is divided into 4 divisions: air navigation services, economic regulation, flight safety, and administration and services. The Air Navigation Services Division of the CAA is responsible for the management and control of air traffic services, aeronautical information services, obstacle evaluation and procedures development, quality assurance, aeronautical meteorology, aeronautical communications, and aeronautical search and rescue. Air traffic controllers and flight information officers provide air control and flight information services. The controllers are stationed at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston, Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, and at the Kingston Air Traffic Control Center at Winchester Road. The flight information officers operate from the Tinson Pen Aerodrome. The Kingston Air Traffic Control Center, KATCC, was officially opened in June 2002. The opening of the center marked a significant milestone in the history of the aviation industry in Jamaica. It also marked the beginning of Jamaica's entry into a new technological era in the delivery of air navigation services. The new center boasts a fully automated flight planning system, which ensures more efficient data processing. It also enhances the collection of statistical data and speedy calculation of navigation fees. The new equipment also provides radar data and voice communications that facilitate the speedy investigation of air traffic services incidents. The Civil Aviation Authority, ensuring the safety and security of Jamaica's air transport services. So next time when you fly, remember that in addition to the pilot, there is a group of persons diligently working behind the scenes to ensure your safety.
Your tax dollars help to ensure street lights are properly maintained. Are there defective ones in your area? Report them so they can be fixed. Call 1-888-991-4617. Provide the pole number and location of the street light, and the information will be communicated to the JPS. Join in the effort to ensure your tax dollars work for you.
As we approach the holiday season and the anticipated increase in vehicular traffic that comes at this time of the year, it is not too early to remind ourselves of the road traffic rules that have been developed to help us keep safe, avoid accidents and injuries, and even death. So for you who drive or plan to drive, here is a timely reminder.
Just being in a vehicle does not necessarily protect a person. A vehicle can just crumble like paper. So we need to carry out all the necessary road regulations to protect ourselves. Because of incorrect driving, road infringement, persons failing to apply the road code, approximately 57% of all road accidents and fatalities are caused by this. When we drive poorly, we don't pay attention to the road code, it is more costly because we have to repair a vehicle, we have personal physical injuries, not to mention death. So it is more cost effective to drive properly. The road regulation is that we should stop behind the white line. One thing you should never do with a pothole, swing from it. We should use a 3-second rule in following behind another vehicle. Is it safe? Does it make sense? And is it legal? Emotions lead to road rage. So the first thing we need to do is to control our emotions. The road regulation is that we should stop behind the white line. People believe it is the stop sign that they should stop at, but it is really behind the white line. Just imagine a person is coming on the main. He's not expecting somebody to drive out. Now, a person driving out at the intersection without stopping at the proper place, that's a major accident. The experts say we should look 15 seconds of lead time ahead of us. So we should be able to see the potholes before they occur. The first choice should be to overtake the pothole on the left side, because the law in Jamaica is keep well to the left unless you are overtaking or turning right. Then the second option would be to ride through the pothole slowly. Or if the way is clear, then probably you could overtake on the right. But never swing from a pothole. Another area we need to pay attention to is the distance we follow. You have what you call a tailgater. We should never be a tailgater. What the experts say is that we should use a 3-second rule in following behind another vehicle. Now, how you count that? You just say 1001, 1002, 1003, and you should be merging just about where the vehicle was ahead of you. Well, there are a host of regulations or rules regarding overtaking that we should pay attention to. But the three that I would like to highlight today is that you should ask yourself first, does it make sense? Is it safe? And is it legal? Because you see, a lot of times, even though the overtake may be legal, it doesn't make any sense. It's not necessary. Whenever we get around the wheel to drive, we need to pay attention to our emotions. We may be going to work, we may be late, and this heighten our emotions. We may have a business deal, and this heighten our emotions. So we need to pay attention to our emotions. Now, emotions lead to road rage. So the first thing we need to do is to control our emotions.
Bamboo growers, companies involved in the manufacturing of bamboo products. Get registered with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The BSJ is a member of the International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, and the government of Jamaica wants to develop a standard-led bamboo industry that could lead to job creation and economic growth. Companies, your products could be stamped with the regionally recognized Jamaica-made mark certification and the National Certification Mark. Get registered and receive quality training and international certification. For more information, call the Bureau's Special Projects Department at 926-3140 or visit the BSJ at 6 Winchester Road, Kingston 10.
Prune has always been an important ingredient in our Christmas cake, but the bright red Jamaican Otaheite apple has become a perfect substitute. Follow us as we join the Rada Home Economics Department in the kitchen to bake our Christmas cake using this versatile fruit.
Today we'll be preparing a fruit cake for Christmas. It's a Christmas cake. The difference with this cake is that we'll be using the Otaheite apple prune substitute as our fruits, or we'll be using it with our regular fruits.
8 ounces of butter or margarine, 8 ounces of brown sugar, 6 ounces of flour, 2 ounces of breadcrumbs, 4 eggs, 1.5 pounds of mixed fruit consisting of Otaheite apple and raisins, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 2 tablespoons browning, half teaspoon rose water, 1/4 teaspoon almond essence, wine to taste, and grated rind of lime.
This is a half-pound mixture. It contains, right here in this bowl, we have half pound of sugar and a half pound of butter. I've creamed it. Creaming is an important part of this process because it helps incorporate the air, and the air which is incorporated in the cake helps with the texture because it helps to prevent you from getting dumpling. When you incorporate the air, the cake, it helps to make the cake light. You have to make sure that when you're finished creaming, you cream all your sugar, because if it's a case where you have sugar left uncreamed, when the cake is finished, the sugar will the top of the cake will be quite crisp because the sugar will actually melt.
After creaming the sugar and butter, add eggs one at a time to the mixture, beating well after each addition.
Now, after we have creamed our mixture, we'll be using 6 ounces of flour. And this mixture here has a combination of baking powder, nutmeg, and breadcrumbs. 6 ounces of flour, 2 ounces of breadcrumbs, and a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Everything has been sieved in this. Now, sifting is important because this is also another means of adding air to your cake mixture. So we're going to add it, and please note that I am not rubbing in the flour, we do what is called cut and fold. You fold in the mixture, because what happens is, if you beat the mixture with the spoon, what will happen is you will actually get rid of some of your air that you have incorporated in your mixture. And I'm sure a lot of you make dumpling at home, and a lot of you make dumpling at home, and you know that the longer you knead the flour, the tighter your dumpling gets. That simply means if you have your mixture here and you're beating it, the same thing will happen. The gluten will stretch and it will affect the texture of your cake. You may end up with quite a tough cake. You add the flour a little at a time. The reason for this is, this will ensure that the thing is the flour is evenly distributed, and at the end of the day you don't cut your cake and find little lumps of sugar. Little lumps of flour, sorry about that. Now you can add your fruits. Now there's no hard and fast rule about whether you add your fruits in your mixture before the flour or after your flour. So you can add it. The important thing is that you get the mixture, the fruits evenly distributed within the mixture. Right here I have the blended mixture blended fruits. Now it's important to know that you don't have to blend all the fruits. You can blend some of the fruits and leave a little chopped up in there to give the cake a bit of bite. Now parents with children, you may find that your children take out the fruit when they're eating the cake, so it's better for, in your case, it's better to blend everything, because there's nothing to take out after you've blended everything. We're using the apple. Normally you would use a regular prune that is imported, but we're using our local Jamaican Otoiti apple. That same little red apple that you see them selling on the road. This is the Otoiti apple substitute combined with a little raisins, because it's 1.5 pounds of mixed fruits. So, but the main part of it, which is a prune, is the prune substitute. I'm going to add my fruits now. And this was blended with rum and wine, to add a little zing to your cake. I'm adding my spices here, vanilla and almond and rose water. And I'm going to put my brown. Jamaican have a thing about Christmas cake. They don't like white cake. You don't get that thing, even if the taste is the same, they feel that it tastes better when it's black. So although my recipe says 2 tablespoons, you can add a little more to bring it to the color that you want. Now I'm going to pour my mixture in. You see, it's not a little cake, it's a nice size cake. And it's Christmas, is time for sharing, so therefore nobody wants a big piece. You cut it small so everybody can get a nice slice. Clean out your pan because you don't want anything to waste. And you put it in a preheated oven at 350 degrees. Now we're going to put it in the preheated oven and let it bake for 1.5 hours. I have garnished my cake with mock cherries. These I have made from chocho. And I have some peanuts on it. So you don't have to go out and buy that their fruit cherry that they have there. You can make it from what you have, from the chocho you have grown in your own backyard.
On the board this week, Jubilee Domination Dance Ministry presents Rebirth on Sunday, December 8 at 6 p.m. It's at the Jubilee Worship Center, 36 Valdez Road off St. John's Road. Admission is free. Refreshments will be on sale. Come and be blessed by ministry in dance, song, and drama. Contact 748-1558 or 461-9103. The Jamaica Government Pensioners Association is inviting all government pensioners, their friends and family members to its annual Christmas luncheon at the Knutsford Court Hotel on Ruthven Road on Wednesday, December 11. Registration is between 11 a.m. and 12 noon. Lunch will be served at 2:30 p.m. Come celebrate Christmas with us. For tickets, call 948-2902 or 369-1074. Are you creative? Well, enter the Digital Jam 3.0 mobile apps competition. The deadline for submitting concepts is December 31, 2013. For more information, visit Digital Jam 3.0 at live.com or facebook.com/digitaljam3. Send us your events for broadcast on the JIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868022 or send an email to cbishop@jis.gov.jm.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller announces $500 million road and infrastructure program. Government reviews progress and outlines strategic priorities for the next fiscal year. And the world mourns Nelson Mandela. We recap those and other top stories in our news of the week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week.
The world has lost a courageous fighter, an enlightened leader, a quintessential statesman.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller joining scores of world leaders in paying tribute to the late Nelson Madiba Mandela. South Africa's first black president died Thursday at age 95.
His life will inspire countless generations, and his illustrious legacy will endure. The love and respect of the people of Jamaica for his lifelong struggle for freedom, dignity, and justice are as strong now as they were on that historic visit to our shores. We grieve together with the people of South Africa and the family of the late president, the loss of this giant of our times, this man for all times.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller had another important engagement this week, leading her cabinet in 2 days of a special meeting to review the country's medium-term economic program and the macroeconomic projections for the 2014-2015 financial year. During the meeting, Mrs. Simpson Miller said government had successfully made many of the difficult decisions necessary to put the country on a stable economic path. She said the administration remained faithful to its debt reduction strategy and priority on job creation and economic growth. The special meeting is an early start to the 2014-2015 budget preparation exercise.
A total of $500 million has been committed to carry out a set of infrastructure and works program that will be undertaken island-wide and which will include $200 million for road patching and repairs. This work will commence immediately, and it is projected to be spent in tranches up to the end of the financial year in 2014.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller made that announcement Wednesday at the official opening of the new Kintyre Bridge, which was built at a cost of $100 million under Phase 2 of JEEP. She said the $500 million project would include mitigation work and bushing, drain cleaning, river training, and the replacement of manholes and guardrails. The governments of Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago this week agreed to several actions to improve trade and travel relations between the countries. It followed 2 days of bilateral consultations chaired by the foreign affairs ministers of both countries.
I believe what we have achieved at the end is a very robust approach, consistent with the aspirations of community law that affects the movement of persons in the community.
Among other things, they agreed that immigration legislation and procedures in both countries should be reviewed to ensure that CARICOM nationals' right of entry was respected and that an appeals process was in place for those denied entry.
notwithstanding the fact that a significant number of Jamaicans have entered Trinidad and Tobago without any difficulty, and might I just pause, it's about 96%. We have agreed that the immigration authorities of both countries must cooperate in addressing allegations of profiling.
Minister Ducaran invited Minister Nicholson to hold a second round of consultations in Port of Spain in the first quarter of 2014 to take stock and follow up on the agreements and understandings reached in Kingston. The National Security Ministry has launched a three-pronged crime prevention strategy called United for Change. Portfolio Minister Peter Bunting says the initiative is founded on the strategies of interrupting crime, particularly gang activities, preventing the spread of these activities, and changing group behaviors. It involves the use of a mobile application called Stay Alert to be launched in January 2014, offering citizens several modes of communicating with the police.
The report feature will allow persons to take photographs or video clips and upload it to a central control center at the police. So if they see something happening and they even want to just anonymously pass that picture of this perpetrator on, they can upload it to this feature.
There will also be a panic mode feature that will send an alert to police control connected to a GPS tracker that would send the person's location to the police. A National Youth Violence Prevention Forum is also to be launched in January, and the Social Intervention Thrust is being implemented through the Citizen Security and Justice Program CSJP3. And finally, Cabinet this week approved a 5-year recapitalization project for the Jamaica Defence Force, which will see the military replacing obsolete vehicles with newer ones. The new armored vehicles, which will enhance the JDF's capacity to help citizens, are expected to be delivered in 2015. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf. Prevent overfishing. Give our marine resources room to replenish. Protect valuable marine species from extinction. Fish sanctuaries have been created to do just that. These designated protected areas for fish and other marine life help to breed, grow, and maintain a healthy population. No one is allowed in a fish sanctuary. It is illegal. Offenders will be arrested and their fishing equipment and catch confiscated. Allowing our marine and seafood population to grow means more catch later and food security for all.
We've come to the close of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. But as we go about our business, let's be courteous and disciplined, especially on our roads. Stay safe and don't forget, we value your feedback. So drop us a line, send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You may also follow us on Twitter @JIS News. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I am Adrian Atkinson, inviting you to join us again tomorrow. Until then, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.